Welcome on in, everyone. Welcome on in. Happy 4th of July if you do celebrate the independence of the United States of America and its 250th anniversary. Certainly, happy 4th of July if you celebrate it. Um, but we're here to talk about international folk. We're here to talk about folks in South America, mainly Argentina. What are we doing, Argentina season two? I'm going to start with a disclaimer, but first I'm going to ask, how are you today, Trey? Thank you for joining me.
Well, happy fourth, happy fourth. We are all here. A little bit of grilling, a little bit of good people, maybe some drinks. It's nice to have a good time, but it's also nice to come and spend this time with y'all and my friend Elsie. We're gonna talk about these Argentina people because, whew, I don't know.
You don't know. I don't know. We all don't
I don't
know.
know.
Definitely Argentina. We're not going to skip over it, okay? Netflix and Argentina may skip over it, but we're not. Season one, okay? The absolute disaster, the crime that occurred, and we had issues. We're talking about Santiago. We had issues with him from jump on the show. I
Mm.
dislike that, things came where it was. And if you don't know, season one, Santiago was convicted and sentenced to 15 years in prison for the DV of his wife on the show, Emily. Also, other women came forward to talk about it. Why is this significant? Because what I've heard from folks from Brazil and from folks when I covered Argentina season one is that DV is sometimes dismissed and not really looked at. But Emily was very strong and came on a show and showed exactly her bruising. Okay. And that set off, it couldn't be ignored. And what is not going to be ignored is here either. The show has said nothing about season one, about season two. They have not posted anything about if you need help, if you're in a DV situation. Nothing. And what I suspect, Trent, I don't know if you're of the same mind, I suspect they filmed this and they waited till after the sentencing, until after
Mhm.
everything kind of simmered down a bit, and then they decide to throw it out here with a week's notice, hoping none of us see it. But we on to them. What are your thoughts about this season just being thrown at us, Trey?
It was definitely a very quick drop. And judging by the editing style that was put on this show, it you could tell they was trying to get through this as quickly as possible. No, yeah, they even editing down some of the conversations that I'm noticing. Like, okay, I could tell there was more to certain conversations that we're not getting. It's like, nope, nope, can't do this, can't do this. We ain't doing this. Here's the dirty dozen. Boom.
Right, exactly. They edited down, and y'all have said it in the comments too. Edited down a lot of the conversations where we know we lost the gist of it and there was a lot more being said. Okay, let me say hello. Hey Sam, we know Jim is Sam. Hey Absance, good to see you, good to have you here. Hey Go Scale, good to see you. And Everyday Sarah, Everyday Sarah and I've been going back and forth with conversation in the comments. Good to see you here. Okay, yes, there are gaps and editing is wild. It is definitely wild. I'm just not liking it. They threw it together, threw it at us, and said, here it is, and we don't want to we don't want nothing to do with this because there's no press photos. There's no information on even the Netflix Argentina side about these people. It was, for me, it's a lack of respect. It's a lack of respect, at least for the show's production. At least keep it at the standard minimum. I had to, all the photos you'll see, and you see I show you, I had to grab those from the show itself. There's no press photos.
You would think there would be a overcorrection with some type of overarching disclaimer for the season about
Yes.
domestic violence reporting things. Talk. It's just interesting that not a peep. No.
Right, because
Zip.
even the perfect match, they had a thing in the credits that said hey, we have counselors on site and so forth, on site before, on site and after post production. So again, they have said nothing, but what we're not going to do is ignore the history of Love is Blind Argentina. So what we do here is Trey and I do talk about this. Sometimes I drop it in a comment. I drop, depending on how early we finish, maybe I drop the link. And those, especially you who know Argentinian culture, please educate us. Because the first season, I learned a lot. We learned a lot. And I don't know how Love is Blind is going to work with Argentina, since y'all tell me that, this marriage in a week or a month ain't going to do. Y'all barely married within 10 years. So we're gonna figure it out. Trey, where would you like to start? Because and understand I have the whole triangles, the whole squares.
The square of it all, or the isosceles of it all. Um, yeah, some of these triangles were. You know what? They're not easy, but it does start off a slight triangle. Let's start with the show started off with Augustine and I blanked on her name, Florencia. No, not Florence,
Augustine,
Carolina.
Florencia, and
And
Carolina.
Carolina. Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Yeah. So spoiler alert for those of you. This is the spoiler. We talking about the first episodes that we got, y'all. So I'm sorry. We're gonna get into it. Yes, Augustine chose Carolina. Whether or not that's the right choice, that's up to him. We gonna see tomorrow in the episodes where they move in and meet the family. But he was, he didn't, you know, pick Florencia. Um, Florencia, she's given me healed yet not fully healed, but she took it gracefully. Well, more graceful than the other ladies when we get to them. But I'm concerned about Augustine.
Mm.
He concerns me a great deal because when he says things like, "Oh, the ladies are so ambitious," "Oh, the ladies," he's a little intimidated. I'm like,
Mm.
Augustine, what are we doing? When you say that, I see we could have issues because Carolina is established where she is. She has her own dance studio. I'm concerned. What were your thoughts on this love triangle?
A little confusing. We don't know enough about Augustine in actuality. Like, what? I don't think I remember catching it. What does he do? Do you have that written down? What does he do?
Yes, I have it. He is insurance. They say insurance, but when you translate it, it says occupational health safety. So maybe, occupational insurance, whatever, I'm thinking.
Mhm. He- It's not okay. I can't tell whether he's an agent or he works within the structure of a company because it was confusing some of the stuff he was saying about the intimidation. But I'm like, brother, you aren't you gainfully employed? You act like you're gainfully employed. But then I'm like, okay, if I'm not trying to be disparaging against, the agents out there, but being an agent is a bit different. You can you can bank well, but it's more like a commission kind of thing. You got to work it. You got to yeah. So I'm like, what? Okay,
But he
hmm.
wants to open a gym tray.
Now that is the disparaging part of it all. Those two don't equate. Why are you opening a gym when your field is supposed to be in this? I don't. Okay, the one thing I will say is, why was he the number one draft pick in the entire women's line?
I don't get it.
Literally, the number one draft pick. No, actually, I do get it, but mm,
He sounds healed. He sounds
mm,
healed. He said he's done the
yes.
work, but here's my problem. He also said he learned, to like solitude because he wants to avoid hurting other people. Irk!
I heard something that I'm going to butcher it, but I'm going to paraphrase it. this may be triggering, but I think it's the absolute truth when he said it. And I'm seeing it in Augustine as an example. Most women are taught how to love well. They're taught how to love and nurture, but they pick badly. They're not taught how to pick a guy. Most men know how to pick a woman, but they're never taught how to nurture and love a woman. When Augustine presents himself, it's so presentable that these women automatically like, oh my God, I want to love him immediately without taking the ancillary questions and asking him, okay, wait a minute, how are our lives going to look? How is this going to work? We live in different cities. You're talking like you're okay with moving. I don't know if that's true.
But let's not talk about that, Trey. Let's live in the moment. Let's live in the
Nah, see,
present.
and then he got that deep voice. Oh, they were eating him alive. It was ridiculous. Listen, the Argentina Cootie Cats was wet. It was crazy.
Yes, he has a beautiful, deep voice.
It was crazy how wet they got. I was like, is this really happening? Hmm.
His voice is hypnotic.
Hmm.
If they would probably throw their underwear over the pod wall to him. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Lobbing it.
He has a beautiful speaking voice. I'm telling you, he can read the phone book to you in
Mm.
Spanish. He could just read the Spanish alphabet and you
Hmm.
would just be melting. If you are listening to the English dub, I suggest what I do is I do listen to them in their natural voice, at
Hmm.
least for the first episode that I encounter the person, because we have that issue. I have that issue with somebody else who they dubbed, but Augustine's
I
Augustine's
don't.
voice is amazing.
I don't think his dubbing was that bad. They knew they had to find a guy with a deep voice, and that's what they found, and it worked. It works. I went, okay, I see why they. Yeah, yeah, it works. It works. But yeah,
Yes,
it's too many questions about him that Carolina well, yeah, and Florencia, which that's kind of shocked me. She seemed to be a little more settled, but she got mesmerized by him too, and just didn't ask. Well, she stopped asking pertinent questions. She stopped.
Florencia heard that he went to therapy for 5 years, and she latched on to that as a school
Hmm.
psychologist, thinking that he's healed and he's done the work. And I think that's where her guard dropped. That's what we presented.
Hmm.
This is an edited, produced show. I always tell y'all we don't see everything, but what we saw of it, this is what But she and Carolina are from the same town.
You know what I find funny? I as well, I'm not gonna make it a secret. I like Carolina personally.
Yes,
Like she was one of my top. I was like, yes, personality wise,
but
yes, but I mm, and it didn't start until the reveal for me. But she comes across as she at first she started to come across as a very secure woman, even though she had some things about herself. She knows she's a very tall woman, and that's not the norm where they are. So she was worried about her look. I'm gonna be very objective and say this: the longer I looked at her in different settings, the better she looked at me. When I first saw her, I went, mm, average. I started looking at her more. I was like, oh no, she's fine. She's really fine. But then I saw the insecurities come out. It's like
Trey, I saw it in the
insecurities started coming
pods.
out.
How come you ain't see it in the pods?
I saw it, but it was masked. She
Okay.
masks her insecurities about what she stands for and what she goes for. It's masked by that. But it didn't really start popping out until she saw Augustine, and I could see it in her eyes. She felt like she didn't measure up.
She said that before she met him. She said, I'm sure he's probably used to a different body type.
And when there's nothing wrong with her body, she actually looks pretty good.
She
I
is
know
a
Augustine
dance teacher.
happened. Yeah,
She's a
I know
dance
Augustine happened.
teacher.
Y'all can have
What?
they can have Amazon babies. Oh my God, they can Amazon babies real
But
quick.
she has done the dating apps. She said she even did a
Mm,
singles retreat. And
yeah,
at
see,
5'9", she's been made to feel insecure about her height.
and I can
I'm
understand
like,
that because
too much rejection from the men.
I think in that part of the world, most most women are probably not even over 5'5", 5'6". So when you get over that, yeah, I can see them not being desired because a lot of the Latin men, a lot of them not that tall either. If you're going to be honest about this, especially that part of the world, they're not that tall. So even Augustine coming through is a whole thing. He's tall, dude. He's
Yes.
a tall dude. So it worked out, but yeah, I knew they was gonna get along. I can see the personalities matching, but there's just some things about him that was not asked that is probably going to pop up and it's going to make things very unsure about their future. And plus,
Yes.
bro, you was too quick to say that you were willing to move. From my point, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. You may, like I said, this whole question about his career. He may be able to move because you could be kind of be agent everywhere. If you really want to. But it was just a little too quick. He didn't even ask when she said that, I'm ready to establish where I'm at, so I can't move anywhere, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, 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 I'm going to move to you. Hold on, bro. You don't know this woman. You don't even know this woman. There still should have been some questions. At least I would ask. At least a few questions.
She said he's the first man in the pods to express that he was willing to move.
And she latched on to it.
Yeah, he agreed
Completely
faster than the
latched on to
Roadrunner.
it. Too quick.
Just so
Too
we
quick.
know, and I said it in my recap, y'all, the distance between Cordoba and Buenos Aires is 7 hours drive. 7 hour drive. That for me in Atlanta is like me driving along Interstate 20 all the way to northern Louisiana. It's a
Mhm.
7 hour drive. You can't equate it, Trey, because you drive
I
for
know.
work.
I know
So
that. I'm like, anyway.
7 hours is an appetizer for you. seven
No, that's a
hours? I
day.
wish I do a 7 hour drive. That's you.
There's still a day now. Anything I say, anything past 6 to 7, it's a day.
Yes.
It's a good work day.
Hey, the
Seven or
longest
less
I've
off.
driven is 10 hours in a day.
I've
I can
done
safely do 10 hours in a day.
I've done 13, 14, and I was around 18 years old when I did that.
Hey, youth, I was
Yeah,
younger when I did that too. I was in early 20s. So yeah, I know.
yeah.
I drove from New York all the way to Maine. So
Hmm.
beautiful drive. But yes, it's a 7 hour distance. So when he talks about missing his family and being away from his family, that's what he's talking about as far as distance. So yes, you
Hmm.
can drive for 7 hours. And Argentina, if you look at your map, is a very long country. You can drive for probably 10, 12 hours and still be in the country if you're heading north to south or south to north. Um, these folks are single for a while. Like the average is like 3 years. And I'm
Hmm.
wondering what the dating scene is like. Is it situationships? Is it just dating and hooking up? What are they doing
Well,
in the midst of these 3 to 5 years that they're single?
well, let's be fair, but let's be honest about this. We know the type of people that usually love the blind attract us. Okay, for the most part. So they tend to go for the people who has had trouble in the dating scene, or they are the trouble of the dating scene.
Okay, he said he want to stop hurting people. I want to know how he hurting
Why?
people out here.
Like, okay, But yeah, this triangle wasn't as bad as the others that came up.
Right.
So
That's why you
it
chose them first.
actually, yeah, it actually ended. Abraham Khalifa or whatever. He stepped up and said, "You know what? I know for Felicia, like you, whatever, but my interest is going elsewhere. I'm sorry, but blah blah blah." I'm like, thank you. At least he knows how to stand up and do that.
You better preach, Trey. I'm tired. Germany had the man. Could you pass that woman a note for me and tell her I don't want to date her no more? I am glad that he stood up, stood his ground, and I don't like
Just,
these men or women
ugh.
not actually breaking up with people. And the show also don't show us these breakup moments. A lot of them
Mm-hmm.
we did not see the breakups, and I'm like, y'all are cheating us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have a
Yes.
few questions. Are the Argentinian cast older for Love Is Blind in general? I noticed a few more people in their late to mid 40s. Yes, they are a little bit more seasoned. They are absents. They are a little bit more older. Older meaning that we don't have as many 25-year-olds and below.
Mm-hmm.
This cast
And
seems to be 28 and above. Go ahead.
I actually kind of like that, but that's
Yes.
probably because I'm in my 40s anyway, so I'm like, yeah, yeah. At least
Yeah, Carolina is the youngest
this.
at 28.
And how old is Augustine? He's 32.
Um, Augustine's age is 30,
He's 30. Okay, not bad.
and
Works out.
Florencia is 32. That's where you got the 32
Oh,
from.
okay, okay. She was 32. Okay, yeah, yeah. I wish the best for Valencia. I think she has something to offer someone. The right person. So, but
Yes,
I am a fan
definitely.
of Carolina. I'm definitely a fan of Carolina, but I am worried about her little um the insecurities about to pop out,
Yes.
especially because her man is attractive and
Oh,
he's going to attract women.
yes.
And now she's going to fit at it. This is not America, y'all. I'm sorry, ladies. These women will fight for their men.
Oh, we saw it. We saw it first season.
They will just think, you know what? Eh, you can call this toxic if you want. I kind of don't mind it. Hey, sometimes you got to fight with what's yours, especially someone
Ari,
stepping out of line.
Ari, he is attractive.
Yeah, to
He is
them, their
attractive.
status, he is attractive.
He is attractive. It's just like y'all were clowning me with Mexico when I was all over Rene, and y'all were like, "What?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm." Augustine is very much. He's not the standard beauty practice, but he is an attractive man, in the Argentinian culture, and
He's
maybe it's
pulling
because
all of them. He's
yes, between
pulling
all
all
the
of them.
men there, we'll see another man who is the European
Mm,
standard, but he's
mm,
not. He's not as tall. He's not as as Augustine.
hmm
Yeah, but definitely. Where would you like to go next, Trey?
Um, you know what? Let's touch on the a hole for a second.
Which a hole?
Nah, there's only one. Really, there's only one. There's only one. 'Cause he said himself, which I appreciated. I actually, as the longer it went on, the more I liked him, which is crazy to say.
You mean Walter?
Not Walter, blonde hair dude. He was
Oh,
talking
see,
to yeah, Fran. That's all. I'm just sorry. Yeah,
I thought the
Fran.
a hole dude was Walter. That's why I asked you which
Nah.
one.
Walter is pretend a hole. This is a real one. This is a real a hole, but he
Okay,
knows it. He
so
knows it.
y'all, y'all, we have in this love square, Morena was dating Brian. Okay, Brian is dating Wanda, and Wanda is dating both Brian and Fran. Now, Fran is what is considered the traditional aesthetically pleasing,
Hmm
more Eurocentric look.
hmm
I just don't get in the editing how Brian chose Wanda over Morena. But the ladies
Doesn't
were
make
all
sense.
saying that Wanda kept jumping sides, that Wanda is like, today is Brian, tomorrow is Fran. They're like, Wanda ain't it. She just jumping wherever. And Marina is like, I'm not competing while fighting for this man. I'm sorry. I'm
Liar.
sorry.
The lot. You know what? I'm okay.
Oh, you got a
First of all,
co-signer. Hello, Stephen. Um,
Yes.
welcome in. This is your first time here. You know, there's a tradition here. The first time here, you only get 3 times to agree with Trey. Okay,
Nah, we ain't doing
just
that.
joking, just joking.
If I'm cooking, I'm cooking. You know, I be cooking. Okay, we gonna let it go. We gonna let it go. But anyway, the funny part was, oh, was yeah. This ain't really a square. This is more of a rectangle,
Right.
and somehow the long sides ended up together. Don't make sense. Don't make sense to me. Ow. Because I actually think this was a bad choice on the coupling. I actually, I actually think Wanda deserved to be with Fran. I actually think they would have gotten along a little better.
Yes. Yes. And
Brian
Marina
is
and Brian would have
perfect
been
match.
together because he's a mechanical
Yeah,
engineer and she's a financial analyst. And the way they got along, I just don't know where it went wrong with Marina, and I would love to know.
I- you know what it was. It it was for okay. First off, Brian is an indecisive man. And he's also shown dependence to be jealous man, and he can be very insecure. Now, his saving grace is the fact that he admits to these things, and these are things that he has worked on. So I'm only going to cook him for so much on that because at least he knows his faults. At least he knows them and tried to do something about it. But I think it's still going to rear the ugly head. I think the thing that scared him, I- Marina scared him. Marina
Yes.
is from the good side of the tracks. You know, she's daddy's sounds like daddy's little girl, privileged. She's from that side of town,
The daddy from
and
that side too. Daddy came
now
from
now
that
see
side.
that's the interesting part of it all.
Daddy
I
told
had
her about that side.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not like Marina as pretty as she was. She was irking me really bad, really bad. I was like, ugh. But I had a little bit of appreciation for her. I was like, no, there's something more behind this exterior, this nat. Because she's a mean girl. This is be real. She's a mean girl. Marina's a mean girl. She would smile up in your face and talk ish behind your back in a hot second. Because she did it to all the ladies, especially when she thought they were a threat to her. You talking about delusional? I don't understand why she said that. I think she's trying to make me mad or upset or something. I'm like, she didn't say that to you. What you talking about? She did. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I
The
didn't like
point.
Brian's insecurities coming out. Every date he started, why do you like talking to me? What do you like about me? I was tired of Brian by then.
Because she should. Because honestly, she shouldn't.
But he did it to Wanda
In his
too. He
mind.
did it on all his dates.
And Wanda answered it better. And that's the reason why I was like, okay, I could see how he could switch to Wanda in his mind for what was happening. Wanda did answer or deal with those situations a little better than Marina did. Marina, you know how Marina acted? She literally acted like, I'm a bad bee. You should just
She
love the
is.
fact that I'm loving you.
She is.
It's
I
one
like
thing to
Marina.
it's one thing to look it. It's another thing to act it. And the ones that act it, horrible people, horrible.
I I
That's
like
like I
Marina.
said. Her saving grace was the fact when she said her father was from the same place he was and was able to get out, and she appreciated that about him. I think he forgot that in his mind when dealing with her. I think she had a true appreciation for what he stood for, and
Yes.
that was attracting her to him. And I think she would have liked him physically when she would have met him too. And I know he would have liked her, but I think she would have liked him physically when she met him too. But
Yeah.
it's just she thinks she is God's gift on this earth, and it doesn't help that she is as beautiful as she is, and she has a very nasty attitude about it. But she masked that because you know what, you know what messed her up when she tried to manipulate Brian, and I think he started to pick up on it just a tad bit.
That was when I lost a little bit of faith for her, but I liked Marina until that moment. The I don't compete and what are you doing? And
And then immediately started to compete,
yes,
and it came off desperate. And I
it
think he
did.
was clocking it. And he was like, "What's
It
this?"
came off. You remember we just did Love is Bipolar, and it came off the way we thought that other love square was happening. It's like, well, why would you make a decision so early? We could still keep talking. When the man tried to break up with the woman, it was given that. Why
Hmm.
would you break up so early with me, or why don't you like me?
Now, why in the heck was Wanda even talking to Brian? He
He's
literally
a
is
soccer
everything
player.
she said. He literally is everything she said she did not want, and she chose it. That tells me everything I need to know about Wanda right there. She makes bad decisions. I'll say it again, she makes bad decisions.
She makes decisions that go against what she really wants, or she says she really wants. She
Hmm.
doesn't want a soccer player. She still, and it's like she waited so late to find out if he was earning as a soccer player. Because
Her,
I'm
la-
sorry,
she literally said her last relationship ended because he used to get jealous of her and her job and work and stuff. And then Brian goes and admit, I'm glad that he did, because like I said, I ain't gonna do but so I can give him heat, but not so much because at least he stood on and admit his fault. He told her, "Hey, I'm be honest with you. I had an issue with dating a model. My last girlfriend was a model, and we didn't work out because I did get extremely jealous, and that's something I had to work on. I realized I messed that up a little bit, and I tried to work on myself these last few years and whatnot. I was like, okay, he put it out there, he was honest, and there it is. I was like, okay, okay.
cut
I
him
don't like.
off. Cut him off.
You should have stopped right there, but because he did that, Wanda was like, Well, at least he was honest. I could see it in her mind. I see the calculation. At least he was honest with me about it. But here's the funny thing. Then you got Fran on the other side. I'm gonna tell you what Fran did. You ain't gonna like it, but honestly, I respect it. Fran purposely, purposely was being the a-hole to all the women in there to see who was gonna bite or fail first.
Yes.
It
Sink
was
or
on
swim.
purpose. Yes, it was on
You
purpose.
don't get to ask me questions. I get to ask you and judge you. You don't get to judge me. It's also a little bit
He
of pretty privilege. He got that pretty
somewhat,
boy privilege thing.
somewhat, somewhat. The funny thing is, he honestly, I do think deep down he is looking for someone who can be more of a challenge. So because he was being challenging to those women, the ones who um they didn't even bulk back, they just kind of fell off of this and that, went against them. He deems them okay. She ain't built for it. She's weak. This, that, third. I could see it in his eyes. Wanda was the only one that kind of spoke back and was like, whoa, what you mean? I need to understand that. Why are you saying that to me? And then he kind of relented and explained some things. But he kept trying to test her. And I do think he did a little bit too much testing. But the one thing that he did do that I think she looked at this wrong. This is a reassured man. He understood his choice and knew how to stick with his choice. He is not indecisive, not like Brian is. He knew immediately. He was like, this is why I said men choose well, but they don't know how to love well. He knew Wanda was the best choice for him. And so he locked it in himself and let her know, like, hey, I ain't trying to talk to anybody else. I'm trying to talk to you. You who I want to talk to. Wanda took it as, I don't understand why he would do that. That's just weird to me. Why would he cut everybody off? Because he know what he want, woman. And he knows what he want, and it's you. but you didn't. She chose not to view it that way. She went with Mr. Indecisive over here.
She
Mm.
wanted to play and she played with the wrong person. Meaning, I'm sorry, Fran did rub me the wrong way. He did as well, Sam. He rubbed me the wrong way. But when he made the decision to cut everybody off, really, Trey, I'm having a hard time thinking that he knew what he wanted or that none of the other women wanted him to, because he was
Well,
such a jerk to them.
well, like I said, this is why I said he did this purposely on purpose. Like the real part was to pay attention to his confessionals, how he was talking. He knew exactly what he was doing. He said, yeah, I wanted to be challenging this woman because I wanted to see, who was going to be able to stand tough, take it, or just run away. Wanda didn't run. So to him, that told something about her personality that he liked and appreciated.
But he doesn't like to party. He's not going to go to your industry events, but he's acting. He's so conflicting, Fran is.
He can be, yes.
He's a whole engineer, and then he's into modeling and now acting. He booked his first acting job. I'm like,
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Brian is going to take her through there.
true.
Brian's going to take her through there. I don't think Fran would have. Because part of his nature, any bullcrap that he think might come up or some drama, whatever, he's not going to engage you. He's not going to engage you.
No, and
He
he will
pro-
stand firm. I could see that with Fran.
yeah, yeah. He's going to look
Brian
like,
will
"Are you
blow in the
serious?"
wind.
Yeah. Brian's going to take you through there. He's going to become just as emotional as you are. I'm telling you this right now. This is about to happen. I can see it happening right now. He's going to take her through there. I mean, insecurity is about to pop out
Yeah,
and
because you
play.
know how we are about the former, soccer or football stars, sports
Hmm.
stars that they bring on these dating shows where they fall short of glory and now they're on this show looking for a spouse. It's like it doesn't always bode well. It doesn't always bode well. But with Love is Blind Italy, who we know who we know from watching their social media, one the former soccer star there is now with his second choice from the pods, or at least second choice that we saw. He's with her now. So we don't
Now,
know.
now, let me be honest. I'm gonna say this. Wanda, I'm not a crazy Wanda fan because there was instances which, forgive me if you listen to Wanda. I'm so sorry. This may not be your character, but this is how you came out. She came off like an airhead to me. There were times it just seemed like that real airhead. I was like, hmm. It's just what I felt. I was like, it's and really it came through in the ladies' lounge. That's where I started to see it more and more.
I think maybe because she kept names quiet until later on. And you know
That was
how I
smart
feel
of
about
her.
the pods. Don't be saying no names, nobody. But the men were the first ones calling out names. And I was pissed. But then
Yeah,
she
but
had
the,
some great
the
questions. How do you feel about getting married so quickly? She had great questions. So I didn't get
hmm
and I think it may be a act for the ladies so that she seemed non-threatening.
perhaps, perhaps,
But she
perhaps.
is self-destructive, picking the guy that she said she didn't want. And one of the ladies said it out loud. This is what we mean with Argentina, that the ladies gonna fight for the fight for their man. They're gonna confront you and the ladies on. Didn't you say you don't want no soccer player?
Exactly. That's half the reason why Marina was looking all like, why are you even here? You really shouldn't be here. You really shouldn't be here. But Marina, here she go. Wanda. Oh, I understand. You should really ask that question. It's a good question. Oh, yeah. Not 2 seconds later, I was in confessional to the lady. I, I think she's trying to anger me. I feel it. I think she's trying to anger me. I'm like, what? She did it. Now, Wanda, unless she was playing, I don't think she was. At first, Wanda didn't even know that Brian was even talking to her.
Right.
Marina had to let her know that now I'm the chick. And I noticed a shift in Wanda. There's a slight shift in Wanda. Cause, I'm be honest. I'm sorry, ladies, y'all do this. Wanda's like, oh snap, no, this is real competition. Hold on, this is real competition. So that's why I say this whole decision you're trying to hang on to Brian, half of it, first of all, don't make sense because this is somebody you said you didn't want. The other half was you only really want him because another woman wants him, and she is on your level. She is on your level, maybe even above. Who knows? That's a
But
matter of opinion.
this is a lot of people this season for Love is Blind Argentina. A lot of people, once they heard who their competition was, and including
Hmm.
the first couple we talked about, Carolina, they put the vroom, they hit the
Yeah.
gas once they realized who they were up against. That's why again I'm saying, y'all, no names in the pods, please.
You know what the sad truth is, and there's a reason why I call it sad because it's a very truthful truth. Nobody, and I'm going to say nobody. Nobody wants someone that nobody else wants. If you see an attractive guy and all the women stay away from him like the plague, you're going to ask, why isn't any of these women talking to this guy? Vice versa for the guys too. You see this beautiful woman, whatever, it might not stop you from talking to her, but the question's gonna pop up. Wait, why ain't the rest of these dudes hollering at her? Hold on, I need to find out something. What's going on? It's just a sad, simple truth. So this is the part when we get to this session. This is the part where Fran does shoot himself in the foot with the way he played things because he was so dismissive of all the other women. It made him less desirable. If one other chick would have just, if Fran was really playing the game, I guess here's some dark arts or whatever. Wanda's your choice, but you gotta keep at least one hanging on a little bit, just to let her know, hey, other people might want me too. You
Right.
know, that's a little dark artish, but it's happens. That's what happens. You know,
But
you know what I'm
Wanda was
saying. So
playing it though. She was telling Fran, "You the one I'm after. You the one I
now
want to."
that
Oh,
now there was a lot of that. This women's lounge was throwing me. Like you said, yeah, the man did bring it up first, but I'm be honest with you, historically, especially with Love is Blind, the men has always handled this better than the women when they start talking about, who dating this and that and third. They've always handled this better than the women do. Just historically. Don't matter where you go. And so in the moment the women, and this is part of the editing that was weird to me. I didn't understand this. Why in the world did they make I know they made them do it. They made the women, especially after the little pod days, sit down and have a powwow about who's dating who. We're gonna sit in a circle and we're gonna talk about who dating who, this, that, and third, just to have drama purpose. And I
yes.
knew they made them do it because it was weird. They kept having little powwow sessions, and it just seemed forced. Seemed
And
very forced.
one of the other ladies will get, Miss Tara card. She was the first one. Every time she walked in, hey ladies, come together. Then who dated who? Who? Tell me all about it. And I was like, yeah, yeah. That was
Still,
put together for them to sit in a circle.
I ain't gonna lie. I still don't understand how she made it, but whatever. she was
Me neither. We gonna get
she was
there. We
throwing
gonna
me.
get there.
She was throwing me. I was like, girl, stop. You doing too much.
She was. I don't know how she got that far either. I don't know how she got that far. But remember also, Wanda did break up with Fran
Last minute breakup because
last minute. Yes.
she confirmed things with Brian first
Yes, she got
before
engaged.
she actually, she did that. She kept her options open to the very last second. Got engaged, got the engagement from Brian. Actually, they both did the same thing to their perspectives of the people. They made sure to get engaged first. After telling them that the other two were there first the whole time, got engaged, and then she waited afterwards to tell him, okay, I'm going another way. So that's why, especially on the men's side, a lot of them felt a certain way. Like, wait a minute, wait a minute. That's but you've been telling him that he was number one. Hold on. Like,
Also, y'all, she may have broken up with Fran, but she didn't tell Fran that she engaged to Brian.
not at all. Not at all. So it's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's just I've
And
decided to go in another direction. She ain't tell that
and
man that she accepted a proposal in the pod down the hall.
and I'm sorry, y'all. This is not the real world. This is a controlled environment. In these situations, you probably do need to say something like that. It needs to be mentioned. You should have said something. It is more apropos to break it off with someone before you just go up and propose. Because see, here's what would happen. What if the proposal would have came, everything would have happened, and then Wanda decided, you know what? No, I'm gonna actually go and give a friend. Now you just made him into a second choice, and it would have came out that yeah, Brian, I did propose first. Oh, wait a minute. Huh? Yeah, yeah, problem.
But she after she said, this is, I want to be with you, Fran. You're the one I'm after. And then in the breakup, she's like, we're just not clicking.
Doesn't make
We're
sense.
just not clicking. And I'm like, girl, it's been 10 days and you've been saying, sweet nothings to this man and we're just not clicking. Then Fran turns around and says, oh, you only know 5% of me. Well, then, Fran, I'm looking at you sideways because you only showed up 5%.
Hmm. True. He played a game too and failed. That has to be pointed out. Fran did play his game, and to me, it was successful on the front end, but it was unsuccessful on the back end. It just, but that's where Fran's pretty privilege come into play. I guarantee you, if this was like an open forum, say like Love is Blind, Love Ultimatum, or stuff like that,
Right,
and Wanda would have saw him,
right.
this would have went totally different.
Totally different. Oh, I can't wait for the engagement party. Yeah,
Huh.
yes, Marina was about to leave too, and Brian convinced her. So Brian and Wanda do the same kind of convincing of people to stay every
Yes.
day, Sarah. And then we
Yeah.
just not clicking. I decide to go in a different direction.
I'm be honest. I don't think Marina was going anywhere. You know what was happening? You know what that was? Marina was
I think he was her only
um
choice.
mm, well, I was gonna put it to you this way, and yeah, I might have triggered myself. Flashback right quick. You ever see somebody play a game with you? They want to act. They play the game like I'm not happy, or they want to play like they want to break up, and then you actually break up with them. Be like, wait, I wasn't serious about that. Hold
You mean like Martin and Gina?
on. Yeah, that's what Marina was playing. You know, if you notice when she knew that Wanda was the other woman that he was talking to, she kept trying to put pressure on him in certain situations to force him to make a choice. You got to
Yes.
be careful how you play that, okay? Because not everybody's going to respond to that in the way you would like it, okay? I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of them. Play silly games with me, you're gonna win silly prizes, okay? That's why I don't
Basically,
like
what you're
games with
saying,
them.
he's not going to be begging you to stay. Okay.
keep it. Now, if you want to talk about some things, and I'm feeling this way. Have discussion. Okay, let's talk about it. Maybe we can make some improvements. What I got to do to improve? What needs to be done? Okay, you want to play games? I don't think we're working out. I don't think it's going to work between us. That you made your choice. You're a grown, independent woman, correct? Right? I should respect your choice, right?
That sounded a
Right?
little hostile the way you said it. Like, damn,
I'm just
you
saying.
you grown, right? You independent, right?
I
Woo.
mean, you making independent decisions, so stand on your independent decision. Okay?
Mm,
I'm just saying that when you play silly games, you win silly prizes. Because look what happened with them. She was playing that breakup to see what he was going to say, first of
yes.
all, okay? And he did respond in kind because she was way too quick to turn that thing around just because of a little letter he wrote, which the letter was already pre-written. The letter was pre-wrote. You was going to give it that anyway. And
Maybe this
that
is
was
my
enough to
breakup.
turn you. That was enough to turn you around, turn your mind. The letter was Marina. The letter was already pre-written. He was going to give that to you regardless. He didn't come off the dome and ask you to stay because of this, that, and third. He just, oh wow, you know what? How about you just read that letter? That'll work. He played that perfectly. Just read that letter. Let me drag you on a little bit more.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay, I'll stay.
she was like, she's feeling disconnected from him. She needs to feel reconnected. And then she said she feel this way because Wanda keeps talking about Fran and how she in love with him in the women's lounge. And I said, Marina, that right there, there was
Hmm.
desperation. I could smell the desperation in that comment.
Yeah. She even tried to sabotage Wanda a little bit when she was talking to Brian. How Wanda was moving. I was like,
Well,
oh,
that was it.
Marina,
Yeah. That
your
Wanda
skirt
keeps
showing.
talking about Fran
Your
in the
skirt
women's
showing.
lounge.
Yeah, and she was. So it was like, oh, girl, your skirt showing, your slippers showing, and it's a bad color. It don't match. It don't match your
Wanda,
top.
Wanda said, "You're her plan B." I'm not trying to badmouth her or anything, but she said, "You're her plan B." But Marina's not competing. Okay, she's not competing.
It was wild. And then Brian done behind. Okay. You can take that two ways. Either Marina's kind of capping, she's just trying to pull you this and that third, or Wanda did say that. And technically Wanda did say that. So I'm hearing this, Brian. You don't think like, hold on, bro, wait a minute. Is Wanda dragging me along just to have a second option here? But,
But then
hmm,
consider the source. Consider the source.
true, but your source is the one that you are better matched with. But you can't see that because
Well,
you're so afraid of he's so afraid of her privilege or perceived privilege that is, not realizing baby girl is looking for a man like her father, and you fit that bill perfectly.
she never talked down to him ever,
Ever,
ever.
ever,
She
ever.
always said what she admired about him, but his, as you said, his own insecurities about where he's coming from and where she is right now.
Hmm. He
It's
couldn't see past
gone.
himself.
Yeah, he
He
couldn't
couldn't
see
see
it. He
past
couldn't
himself.
see it. He couldn't see it. But
If I was
definitely
him, I
this
would have
was,
made that choice. It would have been Marino. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, yeah.
Flaws and all, I would have chose Marino.
Then you would have seen her spiciness on the outside. Um
Woo! That would have broke us
uh,
up. But still, she still would have been the better choice
she
than
would have.
Wanda.
She would have.
They have a lot of falsehoods in their little relationship going on, and you could tell when they met. After they met, it was like it ain't all the way there.
Yeah. We knew Marina was bluffing. We knew Marina was bluffing about leaving. I think she wanted more him to say we'll leave together and get out of the experiment. There have been people who did that in previous seasons. I know USA and Denver, they've done that. And oh gosh, the one for South Carolina. They did that as well. Um, and another one where the young lady Amber left. I forgot which season that was in the USA because people have left and their other person have, followed them out of the pods or, and people have left the pods and decided to, Argentina season one, find each other and then get together and back on the show. But that's what Marina was looking for. We could leave this pod and we could be together. Um, but for this love rectangle, I can't wait for the mixer when everybody gets together.
It's gonna be interesting.
It definitely is going to be interesting. So next up, since we talked about her, let's bring the tarot cards out.
Hmm.
I'm with you. I don't Annie, Annabelle, Annabelle, however you want to call her everything, but don't call her and say her cards don't work. Okay, she was too much. Annabelle for me was way too much. Way too much. But every time somebody walks
Mm-hmm.
in, I gotta flip a card. She got a what's your sign? I try to stay away from certain signs. It was too
Yeah.
much for me. And
Yeah.
Chapa, Gabriel, Gabriel, Lucila said you're gonna need that EpiPen because you are
Mhm.
going to be very disappointed once you meet up with her. And
Oh,
Lucilia,
the
I thought was a mean girl. So
shade of it all. Shade of it all.
yes, yes. What were your thoughts about this this thruple?
Yeah. The moment uh Annabelle showed up and she started pulling out the tail cards, I went, "Oh boy, here we go." And but what did it? Like you said, she went overboard, completely overboard with it all. I'm like, relax, please, okay? You know, oh, you're Aries, but I'm a, ooh, no, that's not gonna work. Like, what you do? Okay, uh-uh. You know, she's given, I'm a priestess in training, and the house gonna be full of sage, and we're gonna be doing seances, and okay. Then there's Lucilla. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lucilla was just here to win. I don't think she was really even looking to find a match, for real, for real. She just here to win at all costs. And she treated this whole situation like a game. So I will say I do think Gabriel made the better choice because I don't think Lucilla would have been attracted to him at all. But yeah, I think he made the best choice possible given the situation. Them together though, I see him going along to get along a lot with Annabelle. Like he's just trying to be amenable and going on get along. Annabelle seems to do things that like she's a self sabotager. She's a self sabotager. She will get in her own way a lot. And I could see her even trying to do that when they went on the honeymoon with together. There was little moments where she was saying little things, and he was just like, "Hey, we're on vacation, you know, we on vacation. I'm just trying to chill out, have a good time, get to know you. Okay, we're trying to build something here. And that's all. I'm a simple dude. You're just trying to build simple dude. You're muted.
I agree with Everyday Sarah that the age gap between Lucilia and Gabriel wouldn't have worked. Just so y'all know, Annabelle is 38, Gabriel, aka Chapa, is 42, and Lucilia is 33. So I don't know if that yay wide gap would necessarily work with Lucilia and
Hmm.
Gabriel. That's why I think it was about winning, and it's how dare you pick Annabelle over me. But it wasn't
Hmm.
just them. She also was dogging other people
Oh yes.
in the
Her and
women's side.
Morena.
It's like,
Her and Marina, they was two peas in the pod. They was going, yeah, they were. I was
Didn't
say
she
Mean
pick the
Girls.
soccer player you said you didn't want?
hmm Marina would say something. Marina would call it out. Well, Marina would say something, but Lucila went on a dummy mission to carry it out. They would tag team in tandem and everything in the pod. Causing little situations, saying little things for the women to get riled up, or to see what the reaction is going to be. It was like, oh, what are y'all? Ooh, stop! It was just stop. The jealousy of it all, cattiness. Oh my goodness.
Um, Choppa's meeting his first wife concerned me.
Meeting his other wife? What do you mean?
Meeting her when he said he followed her for a while and then he accidentally bumped into her at the train stop.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of stalkerish,
Yeah,
especially in 2026.
but he was
I
early
mean,
20s. It's giving me the show you.
when okay, let's be honest. We're not going to pretend that back in the day that happened, or it was more prevalent and kind of more loud. There was the only way you was going to talk to him. Like you kind of have to put yourself in her presence, some way, shape, or form.
I need to know how many weeks he was following her, Trey, for me to
Now
give
that's a
him that
problem.
grace.
Now that's the thing. That's the thing. Well, you know what? Like I said, this is very borderline subject because I remember growing up. Yeah, you could see a girl and like, okay, I like her. She's cool, but not whatever. But you may be across the quad or whatever, and you're not in a position to actually talk to her, get at her, whatever. But you might try to get some information. Who's that? Blah blah blah. Blah. And oh yeah, she'd be at the library all the time. Hey, I like books. Now I'm going to the library every other day. Now I'm going to the library every day.
I like books. I can
I
read.
like books. I can read. I'm a very good reader. I'm very well read. I like the library. So now you showing up in the library more than you usually do, just to get a chance to, see if she's going to be there. And do you notice what I'm saying is the way to pursue women for men have changed drastically. See, there's good and bad with this. Most we can look at that in today's eyelids, be like, that was a little stalkerish. You can say that. You can comfortably say it. Here's the rub of it all. I'm gonna point it out. Here's the rub. Men don't have to do that no more. They ain't pursuing women. Why? Number one, it's gonna be looked at a certain type of way, as you just pointed out. And number two, you don't have to. It's too easy. I got social media now. Just click, click, click. I can reach more,
Uh,
a lot
I
easier,
get you.
and I don't have to. My thing is, you don't have to put in the effort.
I understand you're saying putting in the effort, putting in the work, but I put a star next to that effort. I'd like to know more about,
It's
because
borderline.
exactly. It could be he saw her and he decided to
hmm
make his way through the crowd and accidentally
hmm
bump into her. Perfectly
Yeah,
fine. That is a total meet cute.
that's
But if he
usually
was
how it used to happen.
right, but if this is like he been watching her for weeks,
Yeah, that's weird.
that's where I would
listen,
uh,
listen.
okay.
We ain't gonna pretend that women used to be slicker. See now, women
We
they
didn't say we
would
listened to that.
no, women would purposely put themselves in a location where they know you was gonna show up at. Oh, I was just here already.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's not really weird. It's just that he's how old is he? He's a much older man, so they
He's
come from a
42.
much yeah. That's crazy. He we're the same age. He don't look 40.
No, he don't.
I thought he was 50 something. I'm like that 50 old man up here. He's
Yeah.
42. I thought he was
Unfortunately for
50 something.
y'all, he's also typecast. He's supposed to be a comedian on the side too, according to
Oh
social
boy.
media. So if y'all know Love Is Blind Poland, how the comedian has fared in this whole
Hmm.
dating realm. But yeah, he picks Annabelle, y'all, and Lucilia is like, "You are going to regret. Are you going to regret this? Yes, I think you will. You going to regret this." And that was basically
That's
their
crazy.
breakup and her walking away. But at least he did. We did see the breakup between them.
I don't think he's gonna regret it because like I
No,
said,
I don't think so.
I think this is the better match.
Yeah,
It's just physically and somewhat mentally, even though there's gonna be some challenges mentally. There's gonna be some challenges, and she's gonna bring some challenge. But
because it's a class issue because she said she has always lived in a gated community, and he said he ain't from a gated
nah,
community.
it ain't gonna lie. The way she said that, it did rub me the wrong way.
Yes.
It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. What you mean? Hold on, hit the juice key. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? Like, what you mean by that?
Right, right. We don't know how he decided between the two women. We don't know other than we know Lucilia's parents sent her with a list and he didn't mark off any except for
You know what it was? I think I know what it was. He actually did seemingly to enjoy the conversations more with Annabelle. They laugh more, they talk openly more than versus with Lucilia. So I think it really was a kind of a personality issue. Annabelle, even though there was some weird stuff that she was doing, I was like, okay, she was easier to get along and laugh with and talk about things and be
but
funny with and stuff like that.
he, with both women it was he talked to Lucilia and he gave me Ola from Sweden season 2. I like a feminine woman with long hair. At least she had long
Hmm.
hair. So I don't know
She
if
did.
that's his thing with Morena too, if her hair ain't long enough. But anyway, he
Maybe.
also with Annabelle, he had said, "Oh, she likes to talk about intimacy a lot, maybe too much." And I'm like, "Sir, you were the one leading these conversations, and now you're saying it's too much?"
You can lead the conversation, but how far it goes, okay, it can be too much. It can be too much. I'm leading it into the conversation because this is something we got to talk about. Let me see if there's going to be any type of sexual chemistry. To see if we like some of the same things. There is such thing as doing and saying too much sometimes.
She was doing too much with the cards, so we could imagine her doing too much, talking about the flexibility of the yoga, and she do the animalistic yoga.
Super freak, super freak,
Annabelle was
super
doing too much,
freaky now.
giving the man too much, no leaving no mystery. But Lucilia was funny when she said, she read that card wrong. Maybe it's time for her to leave.
Wow, that's crazy. You know what? And I'm gonna also say, like, these men are not stupid. I think they're really catching on to the mean girl vibes of some of these women were putting out. They was just like, yeah,
Right, right.
like yeah, mm. Like, and some of them, especially Lucilia, you could feel it off of her. I felt it through the TV screen. I was like, man, what's going on here? Hmm. Yeah, I felt it through the TV screen.
Yeah, as soon as Annabelle was very open about saying it was Gabriel, and that's when Lucilia put the pedal down and she was like, I got to go after him. And she was just wild about it. I was like, that's why I couldn't take, and it's probably the competition too. Is like he picked her
Hmm.
over me. Really?
Yes, yes. Lucia looked at Annabelle's like, you gonna choose her over me? Baby girl, he can't see you. I think these self-absorbed people, her, Marina, even Fran to a certain extent, these Wanda, I'm gonna throw Wanda in that category too, because she showed some of this as well. So self-absorbed, baby, they can't see you. Okay, that means I have to get attracted to you via your personality, and you trying to drop hints like you're the finest thing out there. that ain't helping you. It does nothing but speak to your vanity, and that can be a turnoff. So
I didn't like
beware.
in his I didn't like in his final date with Lucilia that he said he cannot deny his connection with Annabelle. Why are you telling Lucilia anything about Annabelle? People were cross talking dates and names in the pods and lounges too much in this season of Argentina. I was
Well,
it was wild.
they're judging off of being honest, especially when the other person knows you're dating said other person. There's really no need to be, secretive or, off putting. Like, listen, you know, I want to be straight up. I've been dating you. I've been dating so and so. So yeah, I don't want there to be any confusement of this and that and third. I'm putting you straight out. This is what happening with me.
But
So
production confused us because when he talked to
that's true.
Annabelle, he talks about Lucilia. She believes Lucilia just want to stay in the experiment, and he said his heart will be his guide, and he has a strong connection with Lucilia. It was very choppy, that conversation with Gabriel and
It
Annabelle
was.
talking about Lucilia, and I was like, that's when I was
There was
really
a
like,
lot missing.
production. Yeah, production really, really sliced this up that we never got context, meaning, or why did he bring up Lucilia's um name with Annabelle.
Honestly, I think Annabelle brought it up. They just cut that part out. They wanted to make it look a certain
Probably
type of way.
because
I
she
think
said,
Annabelle,
mhm.
because remember, if you did look at what's going on the lady side, Annabelle throwing slight shade shots in there, this and that third, it makes more sense for her to bring it up than he does. A lot more sense. Because she's probably looking at this like, yo, I know you're dating Annabelle, and we kind of going at it. What is it about her? Because I see a different person than probably what you're experiencing. It's from Annabelle's standpoint. Like, why do you? She, she's mean. She's rude. This and that third. What are you seeing in her? But she can't straight out. She can't straight out and tell him that because that will come off a certain way as well.
Right.
But
It's just
but
like
she probably did ask the question.
she probably did. She's not shy about asking questions. I just hope the way they portrayed Lucilia that it wasn't so, because when Annabelle came back into the women's lounge, she was doing all the rare hands, and I'm hoping she was talking about dinner and not the flowers look like asparagus. I'm hoping that it was production implanting her words, differently, because I was like, that's a little too much.
Hmm.
Then she said, I hope it works out for them, but don't want her to bring out her nasty side and pull out the bull horns in her hands. And I'm like, why does this have to be nasty? Why? Lucilia, why does it have to bring out your nasty side?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
anyway,
These women were
Gabriel and Annabelle
cutthroat.
are on vacation, y'all. They're going to be moving in together, and we could already see the cracks
Hmm.
showing. And they have been
Hmm.
intimate with each other on this vacation. And now we asking questions.
I don't want to ask questions. That's funny.
Now we have post nut clarity.
Yeah, ooh, oh, that what you look like. Okay.
Right. 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 I was
Oh
like,
my goodness.
if sleeping with someone and being regretful was a look, he had it.
She's like, you know what it was given? I'm a. It was giving. You meet somebody and they talk like they're a freak, but then you get with them, they ain't. Yeah, it's all talk. Yeah, you're knowledgeable. You know what it is. You know what to do. You have all this knowledge, this and that third, but in practical use, baby girl, you ain't it. I'm sorry. You got all the knowledge, but don't know how to implement it. Dang.
It gave, are you sure you do yoga?
Because I heard them knees popping, bitch. What's going on? Heard some cracks.
Are
I
you
heard,
sure you do
heard a,
yoga?
I heard a disc slip or something. What happened? What happened there? Heard a disc flip. Uh,
It was given regretful. It was given like, dang, I didn't realize this is the type of girl that if I sleep with her, she gonna be a stage 5 clinger.
oh yeah, and that too, because she was. It's almost like something flipped with her. Now she's like, you're mine. Like, I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Because she was almost looking like the woman who did the ceremony. Like, don't be handing my man no hot chocolate. It was given.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Get away from him.
Right. Oh,
I'm just throwing the sense around him. Let me sit up. Let me sit.
it
Oh
was
my
given a lot.
goodness.
It was given a lot when they were on vacation, and that's why I have them in the thumbnail with the lovers card ripped in half. I'm not sure. And y'all, this is an edited produced show. It's kind of choppy produced, but we don't
Whew.
know what's going on with all these couples. We don't know if they actually like each other and probably will get married. From the previews, we know they're gonna make it all the way to the dress fitting and the suit fitting. So we don't know what these answers are going to be. Next up, well, let's go here.
Mm,
Matias and
mm,
Eugenia. Miss, I want to stir up the pot. Miss, I need
mm.
you to spice things up by telling people what you got to say. Because she wants him to confront Wanda about Fran.
She's messy.
He said, I want to talk to her. I'll feel out the vibes. I'll feel out the vibes and see.
I ain't gonna lie. I had an observation. It was so weird to me. She just from looks purposes, she became like my to me my second most attractive woman. But for some odd reason, it was because especially when it's one of when they got further along the better she looked, and when they got on vacation, why in the world did I was like, why does she look like an older version of Cardi B? I was like, what's going on here? The
Yeah,
face,
that
it
lighting
was the
changed.
same.
That
It was
lighting.
the same face. I was like, she look like an older version of Cardi B. The same facial structure that like before the lips. I'm like, wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute.
Mm-hmm. She's
Okay.
33. He's 37. He's a purchasing agent. She's a lawyer. And she's also has a decorating business and an entrepreneur. She has, I think, two other businesses. She stays super busy every day, nonstop, nonstop. She has a son. He has a son. We have a lot of parents. We have a lot of parents, and I like it in one instance, but we got to see how the kids adjust. Um,
Yeah.
but he sees his kid every day. How is that going to bode well when she and her son and her business is elsewhere? I
I
didn't
think the
hear
kid
where we.
stays with him. They don't see him every day. The kid stays with him.
I thought the kid stayed with the mother, and he says he saw him every day.
Well, the way that is said, it to me the way it come off, he had because she asked him, so you have primary care of your son. He said, well, we have 50-50 custody, but primarily he is in my care. So that
Okay.
boy stays with him. I don't know what the ex-wife does or whatever she does. She probably travels for work, possibly, and so
But
they
she
just.
dumped him.
Yet they have a great co-parenting situation. We have to see how that true it is, whatever. But
She
I don't
dumped
know.
him. Why?
We don't know why. Yeah, we don't know why.
But he was honest
Don't know
again. He
why.
like Brian. He did
Yeah,
telling all the business.
yeah.
But he said something. He said he was in love with someone for a long time who didn't feel that. Oh no, she was in love with someone for a long time and they didn't feel the same, and left her with insecurities. Is she someone who probably misses red flags?
Yes, yes. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know. A part of me doesn't know why she chose him. Because
Right.
and I'm saying this specifically because she is the one who chose him. He didn't
Yes.
choose her. He was a lot of women liked him. If you notice, the women liked
Yes.
him, but he gave off he I could tell to the rest of the women. Number one, he had a kid and was divorce situations, and that's question marks all over that. Number two, he doesn't give secure,
She did
so
ask
that's
him
why
about that.
yes, and he straight. I am in a conundrum over him. There's parts of him that I actually like and respect, but there's other things I'm like, bro, what what is going on with your financial situation? Because the way you talk about it, it gives completely unsecure. Then you quit your job just to come here. And now here's the crazy part. Now, this is the part that get me. To this part that made me stop and like, okay, no, we got questions that I can't go off on it yet because when he said when she asked him, she's like, when I thought it was a weird question at first, but then it made sense. She asked him, does your ex wife know? She's like, oh yeah, she knows. She was supportive of it all. She told him, yo, go do what you got to do. This is a chance to find love and relationship, this, that, and third, and supports him in it. I'm like, who is this ex-wife? And you know what? It to me, and this may be a stretch, but it actually could be as simple as they were together. There was some happiness there, but for some odd reason, she just knew it would not work long term. And they might have talked about it and decided to get divorced, but they stayed out of friends and great co-parents. So it's not a sour relationship. This is what I'm getting at. This relationship's not sour.
Right. And that's why people thought he was still hung up with his ex, especially since she broke up with him. But he
I
said
don't
he's
think he
only.
is.
I don't think he's hung up. We don't.
I don't. You know what? I don't think he's hung up on the ex. I do think he's still hung up on his marriage failing
Could
for
be.
whatever reason. I do think he
But
has some failure in that. Like damn.
but Trey, he's all about. He said he only had two relationships. They were both long term. Remember, he's
Hmm.
37.
Yeah.
I think his son is about 8.
Yeah.
So he was 29, had his son. So he's maybe a serial monogamist.
Nothing wrong with that. It makes sense.
Nothing wrong with it, but it may be that, as he said, he probably stays there longer than he should in either relationship.
That's the other
And
side of
maybe,
being a serial monogamist. It's hard for you to leave. It's hard for you to. It, you put so much time. No one wants to feel like their time is wasted. That's half the reason why you stay in certain situations because you're trying to like. I don't want to go through this, break up that. It, it's always going to be hard to find a balance between these two. The people who break up easy and jump on relationship versus the person that's in these long term relationships, but they probably don't know how to leave when they really probably need to. It's always a balancing act,
yeah, yeah,
So
it is.
yeah,
Because, he keeps saying like she broke up with him. So it's like he not going to break up with someone? Has he ever broken up with someone? I have questions with
probably
that. Does
not.
he just stay there?
Maybe not. And honestly, that's what I said. Their relationship could be as simple as the marriage became stagnant
Yes.
and someone had to leave first or say something first, and she probably did.
That's what he
Not
said.
saying he was a
Someone had to
bad
make the
person.
choice. He said
Yes. So
someone. Why
yeah,
not him?
he may not be capable.
And that's my
He may not be
problem.
capable.
But a strong, I hate to say this, strong woman like Eugenia, or a very, woman who's, a little bit more, ambitious, and maybe that's why they're together.
Honestly, this is a couple where, depending on how they set up their dynamic, they probably could work.
He's sending her his resume.
Yeah, depending on how they set up. What he doesn't seem to me, he doesn't seem to have. too much pride and say his woman may be more of the breadwinner than she is. Now, case in point, she is giving off where she is okay with being the primary breadwinner in a relationship. She doesn't need that from him. She needs other things.
It could
Now,
be
if
the
they
dynamic could be there.
yeah, if they can make that dynamic work, fine. Because I could tell you one thing, I could tell she doesn't want to be with another man where she has to fight being successful as a harm to the relationship.
Right. And he doesn't
So
strike me as someone that's going to limit his partner's success or
mm-mm,
how high they go or how much they shine. So
at
definitely I
all.
can see that. I'm concerned, and I need someone from Argentina to tell me how big is her father's name in the horse
Yeah,
industry. Because she's
yeah, it's
saying that,
given.
and we don't know because we're not a part of the culture. If you're from Argentina, and that's another weird thing, Trey, they were giving everybody's
Hmm.
full name in their confessionals. So if y'all know the father, y'all were real good at giving me Mexico about the rock and roll father. Let me know how big her father's name is in the horse industry, horse racing, because she just dropped that, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. I don't know who he is or
And
what he's doing.
and to Ari's statement, it was a long statement she just made. I that is a thing. You will find it's always been the thing. You will find even if that man is a cheater, most men, especially in a marriage, they're not going to be the first ones to leave. It's going to have to be something drastic that happens for them to initiate leaving. Then that's for the good guys and the bad guys. That most men don't initiate leaving a marriage. It just doesn't. When they get married, this I'm married. This is a woman I chose.
Well, the next, well, they're watching him meet up with the other person he dated in the pods, and we'll go to them next. We have Eric and Paula. The don't touch me,
Hmm.
get out my face, don't get close to me. Paula. She
Yo,
and Matias dated in the pods, and both Eric
yo,
and Eugenia are watching real close to see how they meet each other. He just like, I just want to meet her. That's it. It didn't seem salacious, but Paula, girl, Paula,
Eugenia ready to
Paula,
put her paws up.
Paula, leave, go home, enjoy the vacation, Paula, and go home. You do not like Eric. And it does not
Um,
help me to hear that he is a very perfect gentleman. He is neat. He is clean. He is tidy. He is this. He is that. But what he is not is attractive to you.
I'm saddened to say this, but when she saw his face, it gave permanent birth control.
Yes,
Dang. And the sad part is, I think he knows it.
he does.
Mm.
He knows it.
But
He says it. He
but he's
said,
hanging in
I
there.
have been here before. I think if I keep on being nice, I keep on, it can change if I continue to just be myself. He
And
knows.
he's only saying that because she said I could grow in attraction, just that. She said those words. So this is all. I'm sorry. This is on her. She set herself up for this. This is on her. She said this in the pod. Yeah, I don't care too much about attraction. I can go into attraction. I care about who you are, whatever. Ultimate test right here. Boom.
Right. She
Ultimate
put
test
on the
right here.
mask. She put on a mask smile, like, let me grin and bear it at the reveal.
Mm. That thing hurt. It hurt.
She sits far away from him. He sit on the bed. She sit on the other side of the bed. When they're talking, it's always a wide frame. He sat on the bed. She sat on the single chair. When they sit down on the ground for dinner, she on one corner, he on the other. He is understanding that one, he can't be pushy, and he knows
Yep.
that she doesn't want to be close to him.
He's keeping that distance, boy. She is keeping that distance. He can't get close. He can't even smell what her hair smell like. After that first reveal, that hug, he can't even smell what her hair look smell like no more. She's been like over here, you over here, over here. She's always looking at him from the side like this. Like wait, why you never? If you notice, she's never looking at him in the face for too long. I'm telling you, it's going to be a little bit of an issue.
A
Well, it
little
may
bit.
not, but it's going to be a little bit of an issue when they meet up with Matthias.
I
And,
don't
and
think. I don't
yeah,
think they're moving in together.
it may not. Hopefully, it doesn't last. Yeah, hopefully, it does not last to the point it ends. This needs to end. This needs to end. Okay,
Yes.
I'm
Eric is
sorry.
a
It's a,
professional
there's
poker
no
player.
dragging this. There's no dragging this to the altar. I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
No, we don't do this.
He's a professional poker player at 45. She's a personal trainer at 44. She lived for 9 years in Italy and got married with the guy. At 21, she fell in love with that person and they got divorced and got into training and fitness. She has an 11-year-old. So she will travel for love.
Hmm.
And he
Not
said
just
from the
love.
get go, he said, I'm a simple guy. I'm a professional poker player. He can read faces, Paula. He knows people's
Yeah,
mannerisms and ticks. He
he
know
been
you don't
clocked
like
her.
him.
He been clocked her. The moment them
Yes.
doors open, he was like, it was so sad because even though he knew after that little confessional he had, hey, I'm going all in. That's all I can do.
Yes.
Oh, that
And
hurt.
she thinks saying, oh, he's so nice, he's polite, he's clean. That ain't helpful.
Yeah.
That ain't helpful.
Mm-mm.
And she better not do what I cannot stand. She better not say, well, let's go back to the pods and let's close our eyes and talk to each other. She better not do that. And it better not be like Poland, that you go in the closet and I sit out here. That is the end of every relationship. Okay?
Mm.
Now,
She
Huda,
is struggling. She is
Huda, good to see
struggling.
you. The members know the inside joke about the Raisin Bran cornflakes, okay? The Raisin Bran cereal. The members know. We have a messy member Monday on Mondays, and there's an inside joke, just so everyone else knows. But Paula, he ain't getting close enough to share a bowl of cornflakes with her.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
He can't even
Meanwhile,
hold her
everybody else getting the
hand.
cracker.
He
Oh
can't
my!
even he can't even hold her hand tray.
He about to be put in some awkward situations. They're gonna be asking him questions. So how y'all doing? It's just, it ain't good. And it's kind of sad because he seemed like a nice guy. Just,
Yes. Yes.
just a nice guy.
He seems,
But
but as she said it.
I knew it was going to be a struggle. And boy, was it a struggle. Mm.
They're still struggling. And the thing is,
Mm.
and this is why the show is called Love is Blind. Sheila has no obligation to hold this man's hand or move in with him. No obligation at all. But what she is obligated to do is tell this man, this ain't it. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to be here. You
She
could
doesn't
talk to
want to be the
him.
bad guy.
Right. No, I'm saying she could say it.
And she could, but she doesn't want to be the bad guy
You
because
don't
that
have to
goes
be the
against
bad
everything.
person.
Either way, no, she's going to feel that way because people are going to call out incorrectly. But like we just did, you yourself said that you didn't really care too much about looks. It's where you cared about your connection and how you're going to be with that person. Your words. You
That was
said
her
this.
words. Yes.
So, yo, and I can. It's a struggle for her. 'Cause I can see on her face she doesn't want to be the bad guy. You know.
Right. She does not wish to be the bad guy, and he doesn't wish to be the bad guy, but he's coming out smelling like roses, as you say, can't smell the shampoo. And that's why I said on
Hmm.
the reveal, she hugged him so tight so her head was in his neck, so she ain't got to look at him.
I ain't got to see your face, bro. I ain't got to see your face.
But again, we need to get past. That's what the pods were trying to do. Get past the looks and get to the root and the heart of the person. And you accepted this man's proposal, even though many of them weren't going on their knees. I see you, Argentina. You accepted his proposal, and now you're not even honest enough to say, hey, this ain't working. Like the first season, wasn't it Roberta? She sat him down Well, he
Listen.
was Roberto. Sat him down and said, "This ain't working. I got to go." She
Mhm.
packed her bags and she walked out.
Mhm.
She wasn't playing them
Eh,
games, and we never dragged her for it. At least I didn't on this channel because I was like, it
Well,
didn't work
no.
out.
See, that's the okay. It always well overall most women won't get dragged if they make a decision where they're not attractive to a man in most cases, unless that man is perceived to be like in this situation a really nice person and it that's the only time it looks weird, but most people understand. We don't get the same effect when it's the other way around, i.e., Love is Blind Brazil, the last season, the senior edition, where homegirl looked at homegirl Lucinda, not Lucinda, start with it almost like
Yeah,
Lucinda. Lucy,
Luciana
Lucy, yeah.
is
And he was
Lou.
like,
Yeah,
he said, it's a no for me. I'm so sorry. He did it so respectfully, but y'all was still trying to eat him up.
but he walked all the way out the whole studio tray. He didn't even look
You
back.
should have. Don't look that. No,
It wasn't.
don't
It wasn't polite. It
don't
wasn't
play
polite.
in this woman's face. Don't play in that woman's face. Look what's happening here. She's playing in this man's face.
I'm not saying play in his face, Trey. What I am saying is, you know, certainly it's not that you break up; it's how you break up. Because
Very true.
remember Sweden we just had season
Hmm.
3. Fabio was kneeling there, and she is crying, and he has to goad her for a response, and she just can't do
Hmm.
it. She can't get married
Terrible.
so soon because
Messed up.
she tried to clean it up that it ain't because of how he looks. We know it's because of it's how you break up with them. It's okay. That's why I
Yeah.
told you there are people who break up. There was Love Is Blind Habibi. She broke up with him right there at reveal, but it was done in a very respectful manner. She
That
says,
ship
"I
is
really
past.
can't." It was sad, but it was
this
respectful.
ship this ship has passed. She should have did that during the reveal, but now it's gonna first of all, it's gonna come after if she does break it off with him. It's gonna come after a weird situation. It's not gonna look right. It's gonna look
I
funny.
I think it's gonna be Mexico. We're gonna move in or we're gonna get to the apartment and say, I can't do this.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah, I
look
think
crazy.
so.
It's gonna, yeah.
It is gonna
Uh-uh.
look wild. And I'm sorry, she gonna look like the bad guy. Last but not least, I
Hmm.
talked to you about Walter. I think they're gonna bring them back.
Yeah, because they go. Yeah, I was wondering, like, why are you showing us this? And honestly, this is a bad sub in. This is a bad sub in. This is a terrible sub in. You shouldn't sub them
Yes.
in because we never got confirmation who was the choice anyway, did we?
No.
It just cut
No,
off.
no. Leandro said, "You stringing me along. You ain't gonna string me along no more." Bye. That was Leandro. She's selling me a bag of
Yeah,
goods now. Now the voiceover for Andrea, I have to say, people, Andrea does not sound like that. She does not sound like her head is in the clouds, high pitched. Whoever the voiceover was for Andrea did not do her voice any justice.
it didn't matter to me because
Oh,
she still was in the clouds.
oh gosh.
Listen, this is okay. Mm, I'm gonna be a little kinder. Okay, let me turn on the kindness. This is a woman who is definitely not used to dealing with multiple people at the same time, or perhaps even getting pursued by multiple people at the same time. She was making rookie mistakes,
But
rookie mistakes
Trey,
when talking to these
sh-
men.
she's 35. She's only had one boyfriend in her entire life. They were
I understand.
together for 4 years. She planned a big party and she proposed to him and he said no.
And all of that tells me all I need to know about this woman, unfortunately.
She's
When
refused to
she
date
said
anyone
that,
else till now.
I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be. I don't think it's more or less she refused to date anybody. I don't see anybody wanting to date her.
She looks like a stage five clinger.
Not even that. She's gonna be the struggle face if anybody get. I'm just being real. It's gonna be the struggle, just like Chris. It's going to be the struggle.
Me,
We know
Eric.
that. No, yeah, I'm sorry, just like Eric. It's going to be the struggle. We know this. We don't. I don't want to point it. I hate pointing this out, but I don't like it. But it's going. It was you. That was set up to happen. I'm kind of glad we didn't get it. I'm
Mm.
so glad we didn't get it.
But we didn't get a reveal. We didn't get anything. We didn't get a
None of that.
breakup. We did
None of that.
all we got was 35 ways that I love my ex.
I'm telling you, like I said, rookie mistakes, but it's understandable because she still is really actually a rookie. She was literally going around telling these guys the same exact thing.
Copy paste.
I don't care who you are. If you start rolling like that, at some point in time, some people are going to put two and two together and you will get exposed.
I met the father of my kids today. Oh my gosh. And then the next day, oh my gosh, no, it's Walter. The next day, oh my gosh, no, it's Leandra. Why didn't they do that to her when they did it to Wanda real hard?
You know, here's the problem. Wanda knew how to juggle. Wanda knew how to juggle. And you never caught Wanda saying the same thing twice to both men. The
No.
only thing she got hard on was she did tell Fran that he was her number one right up to the last minute. And but here come Brian all of a sudden you make that yeah, that's what you get on her about. But she knew how to juggle. Andrea does not. She's using the same playbook with each and every man, saying the same thing. And Lord and behold, you know what's going to happen. The men's going to talk. Like I said, I'm sorry, but historically, the men have always handled this better than the women. The men start talking. Yeah, I was talking to so and so, and she said something sweet to me. I thought it was very sweet. He was like, "Wait, who?" And the man said, "Here's what caused it." Right? The man. It wasn't like they were saying who they were dating at first. The man just said, "Oh, my dating room said something sweet to me." And he was like, "Oh yeah." And one guy was like, "What did she say?" He was like, he just said the words that she said. He didn't say her name. He just
Mhm.
said the words that she said. And the other guy that was just listening in on the conversation went, "Wait, say that again?" She said it just like that. Wait, who was this person? Was this person so and so? Yeah. She said the exact same to me yesterday. Oh, across the room, third guy. Wait, are y'all talking about Andrew? You know, she said that to me this morning. Obviously, yeah. The man gonna be like, hold on, this girl playing games. What's going on with her?
But she's also a people pleaser. She just, he's like, oh, you've been, because she guessed the wrong name. She said Walter when it was Leandro. And their tone of voice is different. I got to say, Andrea, I'm sorry. I'm like Leandro. He's very deeper, and Walter voice ain't as deep as his. So I'm like, and he's raspy. So I don't know how that happened. But he recognizes her voice, but she didn't recognize him. But she tries to assure him that he's still in her top three. But he said he's not ready to trust her. But he said she's been trying to make it up to him the entire date because he probably was salty that she said somebody else's name. But I'm sorry, you run
It
the
should have
risk
been.
of that. You run the risk when you ask, who do you think it is?
But like I said, rookie mistakes. First of all, don't say anything of that sort unless you really know who you walking into the room with. You can recognize their voice, this and that. Third. Don't play those games, okay? Unless you know who you actually talking to, you know for sure.
Right.
So man or woman, don't play those games. You better come out. Hey, who I'm talking to? Every time. Yeah, and it could get redundant, but don't do not roll up in the room and all of a sudden, oh, I'm talking to Sandra and I'm talking to Miss Elsie. No, it's gonna look sideways. Like what? No, that ain't my name. What you talking about? Nah, don't do it. Don't do it. But
Now,
honestly,
when
I don't want them to bring them back.
no, I don't, but it looks like in the previews they are back. It looks like they're the couple
Ugh,
based on her strawberry blonde hair, straight hair. Look like they're
ugh.
hugging on one of the balconies. When they talked about the
Walter's weird.
exes, it got real tense. It got real tight because she's like, I don't talk to my ex. He said, if someone don't,
Walter,
that's fine. Don't tell me I shouldn't. Don't tell me not to talk to
Walter,
my ex anymore. And he said she sound toxic.
listen, I see all sides of this, and to be honest, the way Walter put it, I can't argue with it. He told you exactly what it was. He told you exactly where he stands on it, and that's it. And now it's up to you whether or not you want to deal with that or not. This is a man that still has contact with his exes for whatever reason. It's that third. Apparently, they're still friends. So you either accept that or you don't. You
I
know.
will have to say to Andrea that I'm in her position. Mr. El Cid is someone who still has contact with exes, still have their contact information. Me,
Hmm.
not at all. Ex mean excommunicated from my phone, not social media, but excommunicated from my phone. You can't reach me. So, and I don't try to reach you at all. So I understand Andrea, but again, Andrea, sweetie, you need to sit back and observe and see how
Yeah.
are they
Exactly.
communicating and if they are communicating, because it may be a moot point. He may not be contacting the ex.
You know. I still have contact in situations with some exes, but we ain't calling each other every day, this and that and third, whatever. I only speak to them like, birthdays or
Fourth
something
of July.
happening, you know. Yeah, hey, happy 4th of July, whatever, birthdays, holidays, or is something happening that we know mutually, like, hey, have you heard about so and so? Nah, what happened? Okay, that's it. We generally have remained, because the breakups were mutual, no bad blood. We just always remain cool. 90% of them are married and in other relationships.
But
I know their husbands.
the book 35 Reasons to Explain How Much I Love You. I know what he was trying to go for to show how he loves a person, but Walter, how you love Andrea might be different to how you love the ex. I'm
it
gonna need you
was
to
it
understand
was
that.
it was a red flag. I can see why. You know what? It was funny. Two things. Two things is happening here, and they both are true. On one side, uh, or I'm gonna start in order of events. From Walter's side, I totally understand why he gave her that book and why. I get it. Okay,
It sounded like an
and he
ad tray. It sounded like an
and
ad that
he
he's using
that
Netflix for.
yes, that definitely that, and also he was testing her. He was testing her, and she was failing the test. Okay, because he even gave her the answer to the test if you caught it,
Yes.
because he knew she was gonna be hung up over the fact that is he still talking about his ex in this book, and he specifically said it ain't, it started off as me talking about my ex, and then it turned into more
How I
about
love.
me and myself and how I
Yes, how I
love.
show love.
So he even gave her the answers. He was like, I want to see if you're able to look deeper and forward into what this book actually means versus what the perceived title of it might be and who was originally toward.
But Trey, she read a few pages and she got questions now.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's about manipulation, jealousy, and I don't know. I don't trust Andrea's book report.
still a it's still a test. Like I said, it still was a test. He wanted to see what she was gonna latch on to.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, y'all. I think Walter and Andrea. We are going to see them because the Andrew is kind of like bowing out to the side. I don't see her picking him at all. And then Walter ain't been picking her. He's been the Wanda of the season. He's like, why I got to choose now? I got some other. I got in different area codes. I want to keep on dating. You may be stuck on me, but I'm not stuck on you. But we may see them coming up in the future episodes, which actually tomorrow. Tomorrow.
do do you remember? I can't. I don't know if it's called something new. Do you remember the movie with Gabriel Union, Jamie Foxx, and Morris Chestnut, where Jamie Foxx was the writer and he wrote a broke up novel? He
Yes.
wrote a broke up.
And he blew up. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
something
it's
new was with Sanaa Lathan, but I know what you're
that's
talking
not
about.
Lathan.
But
Yeah, it's a breakup. Whatever it's called. 'Cause I watched it recently. Whatever that movie's called, I couldn't remember what it was called. But that's what this was given.
yeah, it is.
Because that book was originally about his ex, and then it turned into something else. How to break up properly
Right. How a man
with
loves
his.
a woman. Golly, he's using it. He's using it. I wonder how his book sales are doing. I didn't even look it up. I was like, you're not going to use me, Walter. Okay. You're not going to
I'm
use
a,
me. I like it. If it's any gift, I'm a published author. If there's any gift you're going to give and
I'm
you wait till the last minute to give it,
I'm gonna be a little forward and say and forgive me for using this word 'cause I don't like using it lightly, whatever, because it's a dangerous word. But Walter, is it the narcissist of it all? I
I
don't
know we
know.
ain't diagnosing nobody.
I know, but it was just kind of weird how he's waxing about this all, and it's all about him. It's all about him. I'm like, now that is what you should be watching out for, Andrea.
Yes, it is all about him. That is one thing I looked for, and I was like, I didn't like that because he was constantly on her about that. He was constantly,
Hmm.
I'm going to play my game. I'm going to date the way I want to date, and you ain't going to change me. Yeah, you clinging to me, but I ain't clinging back to you. So, Andrea, I hope you don't pick him, but I need to see the rest of this production. This was choppy. We saw 5 people go on the vacation, but we were left hanging with Walter and Andrea. Not a good look at all. So, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. We are going to be back here next week, same time, same channel, where we're going to cover the next few episodes. I believe it's episodes 5, 6, and 7. It is tomorrow. I will have my recaps out for you, and we will be here to talk about it. And maybe next week, if y'all feel brave enough, I'll drop the link and we can have more of a discussion once we meet the family and we move in together. And hopefully, Paula says, let's go our separate ways. But so far, Argentina, y'all have been good. Production, you've been choppy. Um, but I'm 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 wondering. Nobody's outwardly cringy yet, but that happened with us in season 1 once we got to the move in together. So y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Any last words, Trey, about this?
Nope, I think we covered it all. Happy Fourth again, everyone, and we'll see you again next week.
Yep,
And
we'll
yes, come through, come through. We'd love to get some more opinions on this.
it's yeah, definitely more opinions, and especially if you're from Argentina, we definitely want to hear from you. So
Yes,
next week, I'm gonna drop the link, and we're gonna get it on and popping and have a huge discussion. But thank y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you on the next one.